My name is Quent. I'm a licensed CPA and accounting instructor at Rowan State Community College. My accounting principals 1 students have been using quantum tutors for the past 2 years to supplement and reinforce their understanding of accounting skills. This tutoring tool, by my experience, is both highly effective and affordable for students. In my classrooms, I've seen dramatic correlations between test scores and usage of this tool. This tool can work for you. Let's get to this tutoring site to view how it progressively assists students in understanding accounting transactions, explaining how the language of accounting translates to getting the financials right, and the process boosting test scores. I'm going to restrict myself to looking at the transaction analysis feature of the software to keep this introduction focused. First things you'll see are a menu of transactions of your choice for working on, and then 3 different accounting views that progress the student to an analysis stage, which is the impact of the transaction on the accounting equation, a formal recording stage of journal entry with debits and credits, and finally a transfer of information to the ledgers. This final stage being the place where accounting data is highly classified to allow for proper and efficient development of accounting reports. Let's get started. At the home page, we are presented with a specific tutor topic desired, and also the business type of option we want to work with. We'll stay with the first topic indicated, transaction analysis, and simply go get our problems. Presented with a problem here with various transactions, we can choose other problems or even target a specific area we want to look at. Let's say paying expenses is one that we want to practice on. Let's search that. And let's pick a telephone bill for the month of $100 here. Double click that. Presents our first view, our accounting equation view of our problem. Here we're to gauge the impact of this transaction on our accounting equation, asset, liability, or equity position. Paying a bill, we know it's going to require use of cash, so under assets, we're going to select an account, cash, and the impact on assets or cash is a reduction, negative $100. If we reduced assets by $100, our other side of the equation must also be reduced. We're paying an expense here. The owner funds all expenses, so the account we'll find is under the equity section. Let's search for an account. Utility expense, and again, the impact on the equity category is a negative $100, a reduction. We've got it correct. Moving on to the next stage, the accounting journal. We're going to formally journalize this transaction in terms of debits and credits, not minuses and pluses, because the debit and credit has that behind it. Let's remind ourselves of the impact on the equation. Reducing assets, reducing equity category by increasing expense. Let's deal with the expense line first. Now, if we're uncertain as to what debit and credit the rules are, we can check that very quickly. And be reminded that in terms of equity category, we decrease that with debits. Assets are decreased with credits. Let's declare our expense category first. Utility expense, debit of $100. No need to put plus and minuses here as mentioned. Second line, this is funded by cash. Reduced by $100 or credit to the cash account. We've got it right. The last category is the accounting ledger. That simply transfers information from the journal to the ledger. The journal, the key is transactions by date sequence. In the ledger, the key is account information. Moving to that stage. If we want to double check our accounting journal, we just click on it here to remind us that we had debited utility expense and credited cash. So we insert the credit to cash. and the debit utility expense. This is simply a transfer of information from the journal. Seeing it in action, this prompt here allows us to view the posting or transfer transaction, the debit to utility expense, and likewise the credit to the cash account. If there's any doubt, we can have questions answered for us down here by simply clicking on the prompt, explaining the difference between the journal and the ledger, or embedded in the questions are key terms that we can check the definition of if there's any question. Very useful tutoring tools. We should note that there's a session transcript kept of all our steps. This is retained for the entire semester for students' retrieval. Or within a particular transaction, we can go back and forth between the three views, the ledger, the journal, and the equation to reinforce our learning. Concluding a transaction, we can close out of it and go back and choose others. There is a wealth of transactions that Quantum Tutors allows us to work with. It is very rich in content, filled with explanations to practice core accounting skills that are taught in introductory accounting courses. Welcome to a tutoring world that can work for you.